So the Legion are still around in somewhat of a strong capacity, and with the Caesar figure, with basically the fact that he's bald and he has some sort of crown on his head, still around and leading them. Now, a couple of things to note. One, this is likely not the same Caesar that we know and love, because he did have a brain tumor, and it seemed like it was kind of taking a toll on him. So probably a completely different kind of character taking up the role of Caesar, likely fulfilling the fact that they need some sort of kind of single deity character to survive as a faction. And that's something that a lot of people say that they need. So that's not surprising that they essentially just replace the figurehead naturally to survive. Two, some people have raised the point to suggest that the Legion are now dominating New Vegas. They won. They were the canon ending, and for whatever reason, maybe their victory wasn't as secure as they thought, with the NCR pushing back from the west stronger than they expected, or the fact that they just haven't simply spread that far. I propose a bit of a different view. I think that the way that they're going to get around the fact of what's canon and what's not is simply say none of it was. A little bit of a Dragon Break and the Daggerfall sort of vibes, where they say that basically not one faction won because everyone lost. New Vegas was a mess. Mr. House loses in terms of loses his direct control, his army is knocked offline. The NCR is back to the point that demoralized and moved back to California. And the Legion just simply do not have the strength to fully push and take control of everything. They've spent everything, and they kind of fell apart themselves. So a mixture of the major factions all kind of falling to some form of demorality, and not really having the ability to muster up the force to fully conquer what is the Mojave. What's left is a desolate, unclaimed jewel of the West, with no one to take it, and with the Legion and NCR and Mr. House all too weak to really do anything further because the war spent them all completely. Now, that's it. I think that's how they're going to get around it, and I think that's what the Legion's currently doing, is they're kind of biding their time, but kind of stuck. Not really able to do much more than they currently are, in a bit of a weird limbo because they have a new figurehead, but don't really have the strength really to lead, and I think perhaps the loss of the previous Caesar has been detriment or harm to them, and maybe cause some splintering to the faction. I don't think they're just this definitive winning faction. In fact, I think they're actually a symptom of the fact that everyone lost.